at you this week from a different angle with lots of books because, as you know, I set myself the goal this year to basically nuke my TBR, and I've gotten pretty far, and I set myself an end of year TBR and there's only 4 books left in it. So these are the 4 books that I've left to read that I kind of had set for myself. Which means after I finish these, which I'm hoping to do in August, I kind of don't know what I want to read next, because I had the 15 or 16 books that I was happy to read in 2024, and now I'm thinking that I'll be able to read them this year, but I don't know what to pick for myself. So I thought it would be fun, and taking some inspiration from Destiny Sidwel, to get my boyfriend to pick my TBR for me and see what he comes up with, because obviously I want to read these books, but I kind of made my mind up in my head that I wasn't touching them for a while, so now I don't even know where to start. So I need some help, so here we are. So we're back with some books. I have some explaining to do on the reasoning behind the picks, and one of them is going to be a Kindle read. So we're starting with the Kindle read, which is Skullduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy. I did in fact try to read this before. The audiobook, oh my god, we're not even going to get into it, but it made me hate the main character, and like, she's actually great, but the voice was so grating. It's actually, I don't know, some people just shouldn't be audio narrators, like who employed them. Skullduggery Pleasant is Shane's favourite series, and I used to read loads more fantasy than I do now, and I need to read it, and I did like it when I read it, when I started reading it through audiobook. So we have a description. Meet Skullduggery Pleasant, ace detective, snappy dresser, razor-tongued wit, crackerjacker sorcerer, and walking, talking, fire-throwing skeleton, as well as ally, protector, and mentor of Stephanie. A very unusual and darkly talented 12-year-old. These two alone must defeat an all-consuming ancient evil, the end of the world, over his dead body. So, you know, we're getting right in there. It should be interesting. I'm excited to give it another go. And that was the first pick. So there's going to be 4 of my own. I can't count. There's 4 of my own books, as well as a pick from Shane's recommendations. So we have Skullduggery for a start. Then we have 1984 by George Orwell. I mean, it's a classic, and also it sounded very interesting. Most people have an idea about Big Brother and everything, so I hardly need to explain this. For those of you who are not familiar, I will read the blurb. So, Big Brother is watching you. Winston Smith rewrites history. It's his job, hidden away in the records department of the sprawling Ministry of Truth. He helps the party and the omnipresent Big Brother control the people of Oceania, but the notebook he's begun to write in is against the rules. In fact, the thought police could arrest him simply for having it. Despite the danger, a seed of rebellion has begun to grow in Winston's heart, one that could have devastating consequences. In George Orwell's final novel, he explores a dystopian future in which a totalitarian government controls the actions, thoughts, and even emotions of its citizens. Its lasting unpopularity is testament to Orwell's powerful prose and is a passionate warning for today. I'm really interested in reading this because I have read The Circle by Dave Eggers, which I've actually given to Shane to read, and they're not dissimilar, but obviously 1984 came long before Dave Eggers was ever around. So that's the first physical book. Then we have Ink Blood Sisters Scribe, kind of on the same theme of wanting to get into more fantasy. This one appeals, and it's the latest book. I slightly broke my book ban for this one. A house where Joanna Calate lives alone, protecting a collection of rare books. But these aren't ordinary books. These are books of ancient magic containing spells written in blood. Joanna's strange older sister Esther is constantly on the move, attempting to outrun the deadly magic that killed her mother. Now camped out on an isolated research base in Antarctica, Esther has finally found a sense of happiness and belonging. But when she finds blood on a mirror, she knows she's being watched and hunted. But by who? All she knows is that Joanna and the books they protect are in terrible danger. So this one, looking forward to that also. Then we have One of Us is Lying. I think this was picked due to the fact that I do want to read more mystery, and I read John Banwell's The Lockup and wasn't a massive fan of it, so we're giving it another go. 5 students walk into detention, only 4 leave alive, so we've got a murder on our hands. Yale hopeful... What are these names? Yale hopeful Bronwyn has never publicly broken a rule. Sports star Cooper only knows what he's doing in the baseball diamond. Bad Boy Nate is one misstep away from a life of crime. Prom queen Addie is holding together the cracks in her perfect life. An outsider, Simon, creator of the notorious gossip at Bayview High, won't ever talk about any of them again. He dies 24 hours before he could post their deepest secrets online. Investigators conclude it's no accident. All of them are suspects. I am assuming that they're the 5 that go into detention, and one of them kills them, or all of them kill him because he's going to expose their secrets. I also think this is a TV show now, so excited for that one. The final book is Fourth Wing, and I know the author. We're not going to get into that. I had the book already. Okay? We're not even going to get into that. But the reason for choosing this one is because the blurb basically gives off How to Train Your Dragon, which both of us love. And we do be wondering, did, what's her name, Rebecca Yarros just totally rip off How to Train Your Dragon? So, welcome to the brutal and elite world of Basgiath War College. And I'm going to say before I get any further, I'm going to be tripping over my words because there's a lot of things on this page that ain't English. You cannot convince me. So we have 21-year-old Violet Sarengale was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now the commanding general, her tough as talons mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Navari dragon riders. But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away, because dragons don't bond to fragile humans, they incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter, like Xaden Ryerson, the most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet every day the war outside grows more deadly. The kingdom's protective wards are failing, and even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Everyone at Basgiath has an agenda, so sleep with one eye open, because once you enter there are only 2 ways out: graduate or die. Very ominous ending, I have to say. So, this is my TBR for September. I'm really excited to have a month of mystery, suspense, and fantasy. I feel like there's a theme. So I'm really excited. Maybe not what I would necessarily combine, but I think it's a really cohesive reading list. I really like the combination of books, and as I said, I probably wouldn't have come to these books necessarily as quickly as I would have if I, having the help helps, basically. So yeah, I'm excited for these reads, and I'm particularly excited to finally read 1984, because I bet through all of these books, it's the one I have had the longest. September is going to be a great month. Now, I have Sheen's phone and I have a story graph open. So he picked my books and I'm going to pick his books for not a specific month because he doesn't put himself under restraints that I do. Because he picked 4 books for me and then one that I've read, or one that he read that he wanted me to read, that being Skullduggery, I'm going to do the same. And I'm like looking at my books and I'm like, what do I want him to read? So, I have made your TBR, and I started with this. Now, it was a bit of I didn't know what to give you out of my own, because I wanted to give you something that was kind of out of your comfort zone, kind of, and a book that I really loved, because I know you really love Derek Landy. Like, that's like your favourite. And this is my favourite. And I know you probably will hate it, but it's okay. So we have The Travelling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arakawa. It's like my favourite book of all time. Rivaled with Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. Those 2 books are my favourite books of all time. And considering you don't love cats, I don't know how you're going to feel about it. But I really liked it. And so I said, because I was between this and Sheets by Brenna Tumner, because you do want to read that. And I was like, that won't be, like, you were going to read that anyway eventually, because I had recommended it to you and we both like graphic novels. So that's why I decided on this one. So that was that. And then I made a list on my phone of the other books, because obviously I don't have them to show you, nor will I be able to give you a blurb. But I can give you my reasoning for why I picked them. Okay? So the first one is Travelling Cats Chronicles. The second one is On Writing by Stephen King, because they're doing more writing now, and I think it'd be maybe a good one for you to read. And also, if you do find it really like pretentious and awful, you don't have to continue reading it, but some people have said that it's a good book, that, you know, Stephen King's really interesting and all. Is, I believe, a second in the series, but On Monsters by Derek Landy, because again, you love Derek Landy, and I'm like, might as well give you some of your favourites in there. The 4th book that I chose for you is, again, I think this is like the 4th or the 5th in a series, but The Sixth Man by David Baldacci, because you're currently reading one of them, and obviously you'll want to read the next one. And again, David Baldacci is a favourite author of yours. And then the final book that I picked out for you is City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare, because Cassandra Clare is one of my favourite authors. And also, you were like halfway through the book, or like you had started it and you hadn't finished it. So that's kind of what I've chosen. And we shall see how we got on. We both now have TBRs chosen by each other. And we shall see. I hope that my heart isn't broken when Shane hates this book, but you know, we'll try. It might destroy my heart. But I really do love this book, and it's very unexpected what happens, so hopefully it will be enjoyable. It's not like weirdly told or anything. It's not like told in second person or anything. I won't ever give you Open Water. I know you'd actually, I think it would hurt you. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I shall see you all in the next one.